everyone, my name's Caroline, I'm from Park Yoga in Poole, and I just want to welcome you all to our first official session of the season. So last week we did a test session, a pilot session, and that was just for us to check our technology and make sure everything was going okay, and just to see how many of you might be interested in coming along to join us for virtual Park Yoga. And wow, thank you so much. So many of you tuned in, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you so much. We're so grateful for that. So the team at Park Yoga have been working really hard behind the scenes, working on thinking about how we can get some yoga to you when we can't obviously gather in person. So thank you so much for your support and for tuning in to have a little look at what we've been filming for you. So if you don't know, Park Yoga is a charity, and the mission is to connect people to nature and the outdoors through free yoga sessions. So the aim is to make that simple combination of fresh air and movement in the body and peacefulness in the mind, in the hope that we can just boost our wellness and our health a little bit and make ourselves feel better. So we do work by donations, and thank you to all of you who've donated this week. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. It's just unbelievable. And if you want to donate, the link on the website, it's on our main website, it's www.parkyoga.co/donate. So that's there for all of you that have been asking. So Park Yoga, another one of our missions is that everybody can join in our yoga sessions. We don't want to leave anybody out. It's open to everybody, and that's why it's free. But there are a few exceptions. So if you have been advised by a medical professional that you shouldn't take part in exercise, then please don't take part in our yoga sessions. If you have any sort of concerns about any illnesses or injuries or anything that you have where you're thinking, I don't know whether I should take part or not, please do check with your doctor first before you do take part. And then also, if you're pregnant, if you've never done yoga before, pregnancy is not the time to start a yoga practice, and especially not a practice done like this, virtually, where the instructor can't see you. If you've been doing yoga for a long time and you're pregnant and you know how to modify the positions and you know what you're doing, again, just please do check with your doctor before you start to participate with Park Yoga. Thank you. So yeah, with all that out the way, welcome. It's so exciting to be back for 2020. I'm so pleased that we can bring you some videos and things, and it was just great to see everybody joining in. So keep all of that coming, keep showing us what you're doing, and keep tagging us in all of your Park Yoga, because it's brilliant. So take a seat on your mat or wherever you are. It doesn't have to be outside, it can be anywhere that's comfortable and where you've got some space. So just sit your sitting bones down onto the mat. There's always a bug or a beetle or a wasp or a bee, isn't there? And you're going to roll your shoulders just a few times, backwards and forwards, to just start to loosen up. So we just want to come to be relaxed. So I want you to sit up nice and tall, so we get that space as we grow tall. We have that space to breathe. And then close your eyes. And just take a few moments to breathe. You know, like we said at the beginning, we can move our body, but we're going to bring a bit of peace to our minds as well. So taking some nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, or any way that you need to breathe. And they're supposed to be really deep. I want you to just bring your thoughts, your mind, to your breath. So always lots of distractions, isn't there? There's always lots of things going on. There's always lots of things that our mind can kind of wander and be distracted by. But for this hour, we're really going to try and focus on our breathing and our movement. So your breathing is going to get deeper, and you're going to start to feel your body move as you breathe. And you feel the rib cage expand as you inhale. And then you feel it start to kind of come back in and down as you exhale. And just see if you can make those breaths as big as you can. So when you breathe in, keep breathing in really down deep to the very bottom of the abdomen until there's no more space to inhale. So we get this kind of new rhythm of breathing. And as you slow down your breathing and make it deeper and deeper, you get a different feeling. So we talk about how just a simple change in the breathing can bring about a total change of energy in your body. So just by slowing down the breath and making it nice and deep and filling our lungs completely, you start to feel this sense of calm. And your body kind of slows down. You want to relax and just quieten everything down while we focus on that one thing, which is our breathing. And in your mind, I'd just like you to think about that focus. So our mind is focused on our breath and we're thinking inhale, exhale. And I want you to feel every feeling that comes with that. And notice every sensation. So it's just tuning in to those little things that we don't normally tune into, those little things that we don't normally notice. Just notice them, just feel them. And we're going to think about being calm and connected. So we can stay calm, but we can still be focused. We can still be connected to what we're doing. We can still keep our mind on what we're doing. And that's what we're going to do today. So slowly open your eyes. And we're just going to, again, just roll the shoulders backwards a few times. And then forwards. So we're just going to start to move. So we're going to mobilize everything a little bit. So a few backwards. And a few forwards, and then take a breath in and reach up. So the first big stretch is we stretch our fingertips up as high as we can, and then exhale. Good. So we're going to relax forwards over our legs. So lengthen your spine, keep your neck nice and long, keep your sit bones on the mat. Just lengthen the spine forwards. And then up you come. Good. So we're going to lift the right arm up and over, a big side stretch. So the sit bone is on the mat, these fingertips are reaching away. So I want you to feel it. So the movement comes all the way down the side of the body, not just the arm. See if you can go a little bit more. There we go. Good. Up and over the other way. So the left arm comes over this time. Wake everything up like that. Good. Okay, so we're going to bring the hands to the back of the head. We're going to sit up nice and tall and bring the elbows back. So really gentle. And we're going to keep the sit bones on the mat and we just twist. So bring the right elbow forwards a little bit. Take the left shoulder back. And then back to the centre, sit up tall, bring the elbows back and go the other way. So nice and gentle, so don't pull on your head, just make it nice and gentle, touch at the back. And then back to the centre. Good, excellent. We're going to bring the right arm across. We're Again, take the left shoulder back. And then switch. Good, okay. Back to the centre, lovely. So we're going to take a breath in, and as we take a breath in, we're going to pull our shoulders back and push our rib cage forwards. Lift our chin a little bit. And then as you breathe out, just roll back. So chin down to your chest, almost tuck your hips under and round your spine at the back. And again, breathe in, arch your back, pull your shoulders back and push your rib cage forward. And then breathe out and round up. So this one is lengthening down the spine, so you can get the chin all the way down to the chest. And one more time, forward we come, push the rib cage through, and then the other way. Good, okay, wonderful, back to the middle. So we're going to lie down first, a little bit of a change. So lie down flat on your mat and take a big stretch. So hands out above your head, toes reaching away. Take that nice oxygen in, and then you're going to bend your knees and bring them into your chest. Hug them in nice and tight. And then go from side to side. So a little rock. We'll go round in a circle, both directions. And let's get those hips warming up. Good. Stretch your feet up all the way, so up to the ceiling, up to the sky. Let's wake those legs up. Let's take a push through the feet. Stretch the legs. And then circle your feet, your ankles, move your toes. Let's wake them up as well. Good, amazing. Okay, knees down. You're going to hug your right knee, stretch the left one, hug it all the way into the chest. And then extend. So we're just thinking, it's a really gentle stretch. Might be here, might be here. Just have a little stretch there. And then release. And then the other leg. So hug the left knee in, bring it all the way up as high as you can. Stretch through the hips, relax the right leg down onto the mat. And extend your leg all the way up to the sky. Just have a little stretch. Good. Okay. Brilliant. Bend the knees, and then you're just going to bring the feet in closer to the hips. Put the feet flat on the floor in a really gentle bridge to start with. So it's not going to be a full bridge, it's just going to be a nice stretch. So tuck the hips under and just start to lift the hips, work your way up the back, and have a little kind of stretch, little move around in your bridge, and just get your hips moving. Try and keep the feet flat on the floor, all the toes, up we come, and just stretch and move around however you need to, and then slowly come down. Good. So we're going to come up, so you're going to face the front again, and we're just going to drop our chin down to our chest finally. Move your head from side to side, maybe just a half circle all the way around. And just release that tension from your neck before we get going. Good, excellent. So we've woken everything up, and we're going to move on. So we're going to come into tabletop position. So hands, wrists under our shoulders, knees under our hips. So that's what it should feel like. Obviously it's really hard to see, isn't it? It's hard to keep an eye on. So just make sure that you feel like you're nice and neutral, your back is nice and flat. So we take that breath in, lift the tailbone, lift the chin, come into cow pose. And then as we breathe out, you're going to round up, drop your head, Your tailbone under. Lift your spine up, up, up. And that's your cat stretch. And then, you know, just go with your breath, so it's your speed. But do try and move as far into the position as you can. So, you should feel like each time you can't go any further. So the breath and the movement last the same amount of time. And we're just exploring the kind of ends of your ranges of movement. So wherever that may be, which is different for all of us. Good. And again, up we come. And then when we've finished an out breath, come back to the centre, bring your toes together, take your knees apart and sit back into child's pose. So we just talk a bit about our movement and our range of movement. As we sink our hips back down towards our heels, reach your fingertips in front of you so you feel like there is a stretch happening down the spine. So kind of in this environment where we're all, we can't see each other, it's easier to be more focused and not to compare. When we're in a class, we do tend to compare to the person next to us, what they're doing, how far they're stretching, that kind of thing. Park yoga is designed for everyone. It's designed for the most inflexible to the most flexible. Everyone can get some benefits from it. It's really important that we just think about our own body. We're all built differently, physically, bone structure. So yeah, there's no point in comparing, and we're not going to do that. And there's going to be so many options as we go through the weeks that everybody is going to have a chance to do what they kind of feel is best for them and their body. So no comparing. Just enjoy. Okay, so walk the hands over to the right, so you might come off your mat a little bit, but stay down nice and flat. Have a lovely stretch, and it's definitely that left shoulder that you start to feel it in. I don't know about you, but my shoulder is talking to me. And then we're going to walk over to the other side. So again, we stretch out nice and long, drop the shoulder, the right shoulder down this time. So we get that lovely stretch there. And then back to the centre. You're going to come back up onto all fours, onto tabletop. And then you're going to lift up. It's going to be your right arm all the way up. And you're going to slide it underneath your left. And we're going to come to thread the needle pose. So we're trying to keep our hips where they are. And the right shoulder comes underneath us. And we just rest in that twist. So you get to that point where you feel like you can't go any further. So you've reached through, the top shoulder is coming all the way back and behind you. And then once we're there, it's our kind of first chance to practice breathing. So it feels a little bit funny, a little bit intense maybe, a stretch that we're not used to. Just take some really deep breaths, okay? And then you might find that you have a little bit more. Do you have a little bit more? Can you come under a little bit more, reach through a little bit more? And then if you want to, you can take the top arm up and over behind your back. And just enjoy that rotation. And breathe, of course. Always thinking about the nice deep breaths. Good. Okay, so unfold. So really carefully put your hand down and bring yourself back to your all fours. Reset, and then we go the other way. So we lift up the other hand first, and then that gives us that big open feeling which we're going to keep hold of as we shoot through, slide through. Bring this shoulder underneath. And you get that big rotation. And again, as soon as you put that shoulder down, you can feel. It almost feels like, maybe feels like you can't go any further. But if you just take a few breaths, we have to wait for our stretch reflexes in our muscles to ease off a little bit. And you might find that you can just ease through a little bit as you exhale and get a little bit more movement. And then obviously that top arm If you want to, bring it up and over. That helps us to just increase the rotation a little bit and hopefully feel nice on your back and your shoulders. So a couple of breaths. So I hope that feels good. So we're going to slowly, again, bring that right hand down and up we come. Nice and easy. Back to all fours. I'm just going to tuck our toes under, have a little sit back onto our feet. Just give them a little bit of movement. I want to stretch our feet out a little bit, so you can sit up like this, or you can keep with your hands on the floor. Get those feet moving. Okay? Good, okay. Hopefully that feels better. So hands down, tuck the toes, we're going to lift the hips into down dog. So our first down dog of the day. Just think about having a little bit of movement. So we know where we should be. We want to have a straight back. We want to have our hips lifted. We want to have our neck long and our spine long. We want to have our upper arms kind of next to our ears. And then we want to work our heels down towards the mat. Because we've only just started with this one, let's just press through the heels, see if we can make some space. Get yourself moving in your down dog. And if you want to have a little, I don't know, a little twist from side to side, you can do that as well. It should feel nice, a nice stretch. And then we're going to walk our feet through towards our hands. So we're going to come to forward fold. Okay? So again, whole of the feet on the mat. Bring your weight into the feet. Let the crown of your head come down towards the mat. You can bend your knees slightly. It's quite intense, this one. Just relax. Then we're going to inhale and come up. Good. Okay, roll your shoulders back and down. Take a breath in. Exhale, let's come down. So the crown of your head comes over. Good, and we just kind of get the feel in our forward fold. Backs of the legs are still stretching and warming up. And then you're going to step your right leg back. So hands down, bend your knees completely to get down here if you need to, and take a big step back. So you've got that huge step towards the back of your mat. So a nice long lunge. Oh, and then you feel the hips start to open. Pop your back knee down, release the toes. When you're stable, come up. So stretch the front of those hips. So that right hip especially. Elbows back. In fact, let's just take a couple of circles. So nice and strong in the body and the legs. Couple of circles. And then take your hands together. Lift your chest and press your rib cage forwards. So draw your shoulder blades back and together. So a stretch across the chest. So we know we're not driving anywhere, usually, now. But we are probably sitting at home a lot more. And maybe we're sitting on our laptops a lot more, working from home. And what happens is we get like this, okay? We can't help it. So we're going to relax and we're going to stretch. And if you want to tilt forwards, you can. And then we relax and bring our hands down. Straighten the front leg. And bring the rib cage closer. So just as straight as you can with the front leg, and once you feel the stretch, stick with it. And breathe. Good, okay. Bring the hips forwards again. Come back up. Open the elbows back. And just look up. So this is kind of optional. The leaning back feeling might not be a good feeling for everybody. But if you do like it, press your hips forwards. Lift your chin. and lean back. Good. Okay, up we come. Tuck your hands down, tuck your toes under, step back to down. And then we exhale to plank. So all the way down, bring the hips in wide. You try not to be like this, try not to be like this, try and stay in the centre. Your knees can go down, so that's not a problem. And if you just check out my upper body, I can lift my knees, or I can put them down. Not much happens in my upper body because I'm still nice and strong. So then you have those options. We're going to come down to Cobra. So you can come straight down on your knees, or from your toes, bring your shoulders forwards. Let's protect our shoulders and our elbows before you come up and through to your Cobra. And again, loads of options here. So hips are on the floor, elbows are back, so facing behind you. If you lift and feel like that's enough, that's your Cobra. If you're feeling bendier, come up a little bit more. Still keep your elbows in. And then guys, the most important thing is these shoulders. Let's drop them down. Just want them away from our ears, so no tension. Good. Lift the hips first and push all the way back to down dog. So sink down into your down dog. Upper body, remember, most important. And then you've got that choice. So you can walk your hands. No. Guys, if you know me, you'll know that I always say this by accident: walk your hands. Don't walk your hands anywhere. Walk your feet through towards your hands. Park yoga is not for walking on our hands. No, no. So walk your feet through towards your hands, or you can do that step and join, or you can do the double kind of float. Lift both feet, float through. So it's up to you which one of those that you do as you come to forward fold. So you can walk your feet, you can step them, or you can jump them. Don't walk on your hands. Inhale and come up. Exhale, let's come straight down, back to forward fold. So let your body work into that forward fold. Put your hands down, and you're going to step back on the other leg. So it's the left leg this time, all the way towards the back of the mat. Let the hips drop, pop the knee down, release the toes. Feel that. So the temptation is to twist because it gives you relief and it stops the stretch from happening. But we're not going to do that. We're going to bring our hips in line. So keep onto this right hip. It's not going to go back, and then we lift up. So we want to get the maximum benefit from each pose. You know, there's no we don't have to do complicated things, but what we have to do is think about what we're actually doing and get the best out of it. So like we said at the beginning, we feel every single movement, we focus, we're connected, we are focused on what we're doing instead of just going through the motions. We feel all of the feelings that come with all of these movements. We do them with purpose and it's meaningful. Okay, let's bring the elbows back, let's take some circles. Slower, as quick as you like, and then bring your hands behind you. So draw the shoulder blades together. See if you can put the palms of the hands together and tilt forwards if it feels okay. Good. Okay. Take your hands down. Of course, we're going to come to that hamstring stretch, so walk all the way back until you feel that lengthening happening. If you don't feel it, aim your tailbone backwards and bring your rib cage down. Beautiful hamstring stretch all the way down the back of your leg. If you lift your toes, you're going to find it in your calf as well. If you want a little bit extra, I know you do. Good, okay. And then come forwards. So carefully put yourself back into position. Come up. Start to lean back. And then just let the arms go. So the hips are coming forwards. The rib cage is coming forwards as we lift up and back. Good, perfect. Okay, hands down, tuck the toes at the back and step back to down dog. So again, we're getting a little bit more into our down dog now. We've done it a few times. So if you can just push through the heels. Just melt back into your down dog and just think about that full body stretch. And then step the feet through, walk them through, or jump them through and you have your forward fold. And then inhale and come up. Good. Exhale. Give those shoulders a bit of a roll. How's that? Really, really good. Okay, take a breath in. And a breath out, let's come to forward fold. Hands down. We're going to step back to plank, so whichever leg you want, and then toes or knees, nice and strong. Bend your elbows. So remember, knees can be down too. And then we come up into our Cobra. Sunshine on my face. Okay, good. So from here, a little bit different. We're just going to bend the knees and sit back to child's pose. Nice deep breaths. And then just bring your hands together. Sink your chest low. To get a really intense stretch. Once you bring those hands together, and we keep the arms straight. So if you feel like you're doing this, see if you can reach away. And then the final bit, if you want it, is that you're going to keep your hips sitting back, keep your fingers reaching forwards, put your elbows down, and aim your fingertips up, 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 up to the ceiling. To the sky, and breathe. So we've got a super intense shoulder stretch, and while you're there, it's just thinking about your armpits are dropping down towards the mat. Okay, so we're active, our spine is long. Think about your hips. Have they lifted up away from your heels, or have they gone up a little bit further? See if you can just relax them down as you exhale, and also as you exhale, relax here. Armpits down towards the mat. Relax your neck. Let's open up our shoulders so you have that mobility. So many birds have come to join me this morning. I didn't realise there were so many birds in my garden. I think it's not normally this peaceful. So yeah, we're really getting that nice stretch in the shoulders. Okay, so really slowly. Straighten your arms, so you bring your fingertips down towards the mat again. Separate the hands, and we're going to come up. Good. Take the hands behind you, and again, you've got lots of options here. So see if you can straighten the arms. That's your first kind of challenge. See if you can get the palms together. So instead of like this, so close to your body at first, and then lift away. And then if you want a little bit more, just take your knees slightly apart and fold yourself forwards. So instead of like this, I'm going to keep the back flat as we fold forwards. You can bring your head down and lift the hands up behind you. You know how I love, if you know me, you know I love a good stretch like this to open out the upper body where we all carry so much tension. Good. Just work your way into it. Find the good parts. and then come up. Good. So I always say this, I can't see you, but I know what it's like. And if you guys who don't come to Pool Park Yoga and you go to other park yogas or any other yoga classes, and I'm sure yoga teachers would agree with me, everybody is so tense like this, and all we want to do is just get some space and see your necks, because I think we carry it, don't we, so much like this. Sometimes it's just need that reminder to go, oh, grow tall, relax my shoulders, and that's what this is about. Okay, perfect. So from there we're going to come onto our front. So stretch out onto your mat, face down, hands are under your shoulders. Okay, so we're going to think about those hip bones at the front coming into contact with the mat. We're going to take a breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to make sure the hands are under the shoulders and just start to lift up into that back bend, so that kind of baby cobra or wherever. This time not too much weight in your hands, just lift up, press your hips down, keep the fronts of your legs in contact with the mat, lift your chin, shoulders away from your ears, just breathe. Good, okay, come down. This time, you're going to squeeze your elbows in a little bit further. You might want to move your hands slightly in front of your shoulders and take a breath in, and this time you press your whole forearms down into the mat as we come up into Sphinx pose. Okay, so your elbows are going to end up under your shoulders. So the hip bones are on the mat, we feel lifted through our upper body, and the bend is happening in the middle of the back, so not really the lower back too much, but you're pressing your forearms and your hands down into the mat. And again, your shoulders, if you feel like you're like this, just see if you can draw them back. Okay, you can also lift up higher to do that, but if this is your highest and your shoulders are here, just see if you can move them away, so we're moving them back a little bit. Okay, so we're lifted and we breathe. So you're working those muscles down your back, and your glutes are helping just to press your hips forwards. So it's an active position, not just a stretch, and it's not just your arms supporting you, it's your whole body, the back of your body. So take some deep breaths. So your rib cage is almost moving forwards away from your hips, so you're creating some space there. Do make sure that your glutes are working, because that's going to support all of those muscles around the core. Excellent. Okay, so slowly come down. Brilliant. So we are going to bend the right knee. You're going to keep your hips pushed down into the mat, bring the heel in, and then that's a little bit of a stretch. If you can, you're going to reach around with your hand and take hold kind of in front of your ankle. But just, again, like we said, if you check into the body, if you notice what's going on, it's the front of your hip that's lifting. So we're going to try and push that front of hip down again and have a little stretch. So keeping your knees close together, don't let that right knee come out to the side. Just relax. So you can rest your head on your arm. It's wherever is comfortable. I don't like rules, so wherever you're comfortable. Okay, release, and let's go for the other side. You press your hips down, bend your knee, bring your heel in, so if you feel that hip lift, squeeze the glute to keep it down and take hold. How's that? So keep the knees in together, and you get that lovely stretch on the front of the thighs, so a huge muscle group. Okay, release. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Actually, let's take them down by our sides. So let's move in for our locust pose. So take a breath in, press your hips down. As you exhale, first option is we're going to lift up our chest. Okay, so our shoulders are back and we lift up and we keep breathing. If you want to take the full locust pose, you can also lift the legs. So we're going to keep the legs straight and the thighs are lifting. So we push the toes away to keep the legs long and reach up. So you have that nice option there. You can just do the upper body, or you could just do the legs if you want to practice the legs, or you can do both. So we're really thinking about all the way down the back. Reach the fingertips behind you. Lift the legs as high as you can, but they're straight. So we're not just lifting the lower legs, we need to keep them straight and lift the thighs too. Nice deep breaths. And then guys, if you're finding this really easy, you want some more, you can take your hands out to the side. If you want even more, you can take your hands out to the front. So that just gives us more of a load. Got that extension of the arms, which makes the back muscles work harder in the locust position. Couple more breaths. And release. Good. Perfect. Okay, bring your hands in. Come up onto all fours again. In fact, let's sit into a nice kneeling position. Take a breath in. Clasp your hands together, reach up. So this is lengthening the spine. So sit on your heels. So if kneeling's not comfortable, sit onto your sitting bones and just put your legs in front of you. Reach up. And then we're going to think about these shoulders again. See if you can move the arms back. So it's like the upper arms are going behind your ears. You still keep the arms as straight as possible. Back is straight, we're sitting down. Thinking about all that mobility in the shoulders, which is what we've practiced today. Good, okay. Clasp your hands, bring them down behind your head like we did at the beginning. So it's the same thing. So I'm just going to go to face you. Again, if you don't want to be kneeling, sitting is fine. And the elbows go back as far as you can. But we're not pulling on our head because we want our neck in line. So it's a gentle touch on the back of the head. As you exhale, take a nice rotation. And it really is this arm here. So the left arm is going back and the left shoulder is going back, and that is guiding us round, and our rib cage is moving and nothing else is moving. And then we come back, open out again, and then we're going to be led round the other way by the right elbow, right shoulder. Always have one way that's more difficult, don't you, than the other. This is not my favourite side. Good, brilliant, okay. Come back to the front. We're going to sit onto our sitting bones. Let's take our feet wide. So we come to this seated wide position. It doesn't have to be the splits. It is your own seated wide position. So if you are here and you're sitting up tall and that's your range of movement, that is perfect. Okay, if it's wider, then that's perfect. So we want to have our sitting bones on the mat, and we want to be able to not be slouching, but to sit up really nice and tall. Okay, lovely. So take a breath in, and this time you're going to take hold of your right wrist with your left hand, and just take a little side bend. Okay, so the idea is that the left hand just pulls you a little bit to increase your stretch. Okay, up we go, other way. So take hold of your left wrist with the right hand, and over we go. Just have a little pull to increase that stretch. Good. Up we come. Perfect. Okay, so this time we're going to come forwards. So I like to come from this position because it helps us stay lifted. Because you know when you fold forward, you're thinking your head, aren't you? Your head's going to come down. But we're going to avoid this and keep open. So as we lift, we keep the chest lifted and the back is straight. And you get to that point where probably your inner thighs say no more. And then you've got two options. You can take the hands to the floor, yeah, and just stick here with a stretch. Or if you're looking for more strength, you can keep the arms up. It just makes it more intense. Okay, so wherever you are, guess where the shoulders are, away from the ears. We'll talk more about that in the future, but it's not forcing them down, it's just letting them relax back to where they naturally should be. So we're not pulling them down, because we don't want to start to get any kind of tension in other parts of our back. But we just want to remind ourselves that the shoulders don't live here, they live here. Nice deep breaths. Okay, so this is space. So you haven't squashed yourself up, but you're lifted and you feel like you've got space. The rib cage is expanding as we take those lovely breaths. And we stay low. Let's walk ourselves over to the right, which means bringing the rib cage over to the right thigh. And if you can do a lovely beautiful fold of your whole body along the leg, go for it. So get as much out of this stretch as you can. If you're still here and you can feel the stretch, that is perfect. So the goal is to feel. It's not what we look like, it's what we feel. And you know, even in a class, an instructor can't tell if you're feeling it. And I really think it's such a good thing to focus on, especially while we're doing these virtual sessions, is can you feel? Can you feel? If you take some deep breaths, you can let those feelings in. You can notice them and connect to them. Good. Okay, over to the other side. Over we go. Rib cage. And we reach over. And again, we just relax. So keep the sitting bones down, keep the backs of the legs down, keep the spine long. So like this, like this. Always thinking space, always thinking openness, length, and all of those beautiful things that we need our body to feel. Lovely. So if you're done with your stretch, up you come and come back to the centre, and we're going to fold our legs in, bring our feet together, lift our rib cage, and again straight back, lifted feeling. We're going to just come forwards, get our hips just back in balance. Okay, so we're going to take ourselves onto our mat. We're going to lie down onto our backs. We're nearing the end. Lie down nice and flat, but just finally before we do lie down, we're going to bring our knees into our chest again, rock them from side to side, and then keep your knees together. Keep your shoulder blades on the mat, keep your ankles together. We're going to drop over to the right hand side. So So a little twist. You're going to take the other arm out and just turn your head to look along the arm. Good, and then you're going to come up and over. Let's go the other way. So keep the knees quite close, the ankles quite close, the shoulder blades on the ground, and take your hand out to the side. Okay, excellent. Back we come. So lie yourself down on your back. We're going to come to our final relaxation. Just take your feet apart, your hands, palms facing the ceiling. Just relax your body. And we're just going to take some deep breaths. So nice deep breaths. Sit up nice and, well, lie down nice and long. So I want you to make sure that that spine is nice and long. And again, just want you to think about your mind is going to connect to your body. So we followed our breathing all the way through our practice. We're going to follow it again now. And as you take some deep breaths, I just want you to notice how different our body feels now compared to how we felt when we started. So the simplest kind of benefits that we have is we've come to move our body. The body craves movement. We need movement to be healthy. We need to move our body and our muscles and our joints, through their full range of motion to stay healthy. And that's what we've done today. We need our mind to be quiet. We need to give our mind an opportunity to stop, to slow down. We need to find somewhere inside our mind that is a silence for us. So it might not be, you might still be able to hear the cars on the road, you might still notice other noises, and our own silence. It's not about silence around us, it's about our own peace, and finding that peace and silence when maybe the world around us is crazy. I think we all can appreciate a little bit of that right now. So follow your breath, nice and easy, and just release your kind of control on your breathing. Just let it go. Huge deep breaths. And then I want you to bend your knees and put your feet flat onto the floor. And feel the ground beneath your feet, whatever that may be. So really important that we connect our bare feet to the floor and feel that kind of grounding, that safe, stable feeling. And then just drop your knees over to the right hand side, and then you can turn on your side and open your eyes and pick yourself up and sit yourself up in your own time, and just come back to me. Come back, sit up, nice straight back. Just off camera I've got a really a gathering of pigeons in the garden. Okay, so final breath in and a final breath out, and that brings us to the end of our practice. So I'm going to give you a clap. Give yourselves a clap as well. Thank you for joining me. Our first one of the season, our first official season. Park Yoga is open. Thank you for all your support. If you have anything to share with us, we would love to see it. We would love to see you take part in Park Yoga or tag us in anything that you've got. So you can post on your own local Facebook Park Yoga page, or you can tag us on Instagram. So that's at Park Yoga UK, and we really do love to see it. So thank you so much. And hopefully you will have some other lovely instructors to enjoy over the next few weeks, and I might even see you again soon. So take care, have a good week, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much, everybody.